Unlocking longevity, vital intimacy insights for men over 70. You've navigated life's currents for decades, haven't you? Perhaps even half a century or more. Certain routines feel etched in stone, deeply personal, seemingly without consequence. But what if I told you that after the milestone of 70, something as fundamental as self-pleasure, if approached incorrectly, could silently undermine your heart health, constrict your vital blood vessels, and, yes, even shorten your precious years? Consider the poignant story of Mr. Harold, a 73-year-old gentleman who passed away in the solitude of his bedroom. The cause? A seemingly innocent moment of self-intimacy that tragically became a fatal misstep. I'm Dr. Robert Caldwell, a men's health specialist with over 3 decades dedicated to empowering older men to maintain their strength, confidence, and vibrant sexual well-being. You might have been reassured that self-pleasure is inherently safe, but as the years advance, your body undergoes profound changes. Circulation becomes less robust, recovery takes longer, and what once felt like a harmless routine can unexpectedly become fraught with risk. In this crucial discussion, I'll unveil 4 critical errors that men in their golden years often make, and more importantly, what proactive steps you can take instead. And be sure not to miss revelation number 3. It's the most prevalent and potentially the most perilous. Before we delve into these 4 silent dangers, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. This ensures you never miss another vital health lesson tailored specifically for men in their 70s and beyond. If this topic resonates with you, type 1 in the comments below. If not, type 0. Your valuable feedback guides me in creating content that truly serves your needs. Let's not delay any further. Let's dive straight into the first of the 4 unseen mistakes that men over 70 often commit during self-pleasure. Each one might appear insignificant, even innocuous, but over time, they can quietly erode your circulation, diminish your confidence, and compromise your overall quality of life. Mistake 1: engaging when physically drained or weak. Mistake number 1: self-pleasure when your body is signaling profound fatigue or weakness. At first glance, it seems harmless, doesn't it? You've had a long day, perhaps restless sleep, or maybe you just finished tending your garden or a brisk walk around the block. You feel weary, a bit sore, but you reason that a little release might help you unwind before drifting off to sleep. It feels like the natural thing to do. But here's a crucial truth that often goes unspoken: self-pleasure, even in the privacy of your own moments, still places your body under physical demand. And when you're over 70, the impact of that demand is significantly greater than it once was. As we gracefully age, our cardiovascular system has to work harder to maintain its normal rhythm. The heart doesn't pump with quite the same youthful vigor, arteries lose some of their supple flexibility, and blood pressure can become less predictable. When you are already physically depleted or your energy reserves are low, your system is already under considerable strain. Introduce the increased heart rate, muscle tension, and heightened blood flow demands that accompany self-pleasure, and you might inadvertently be placing your body in a precarious situation without even realizing it. The danger here isn't merely theoretical. I've had the privilege of working with numerous older men who have recounted feeling lightheaded, dizzy, or acutely short of breath after private moments. In some instances, their heart rate spiked alarmingly. Others experienced a strange tightness in their chest or breathlessness they had never encountered before. One gentleman, Mr. Franklin, 74 years young and otherwise in reasonably good health, tragically collapsed in his bathroom after engaging in self-pleasure late one evening following an arduous day of yard work. His body was already running on empty, and that final exertion, intended as a moment of comfort, spiraled into a medical emergency. What most men don't fully appreciate is that during periods of significant fatigue or dehydration, the body's ability to effectively regulate blood pressure becomes unstable. This can lead to orthostatic hypotension, where suddenly standing or sitting up too quickly during or immediately after climax causes a dangerous and precipitous drop in blood pressure. Combine this with the natural post-orgasmic release of tension, and the consequences can range from fainting and falls to serious heart-related complications. The emotional toll is equally vital to acknowledge. Many older men feel a sense of apprehension or even shame discussing this. Some feel embarrassed that something so seemingly simple could lead to such significant health issues. Others might dismiss it, thinking it was a one-time occurrence or simply attributed to being overly tired that day. But the real danger lurks in the repetition of this behavior without recognizing the underlying pattern. Over time, consistently pushing your body when it's pleading for rest gradually erodes your overall resilience. It elevates your risk of cardiovascular strain, disrupts delicate hormonal balance, and subtly affects your ability to feel confident, connected, and in control of your own well-being. To safeguard your health and well-being, it's absolutely critical to choose moments for intimacy when your body feels genuinely nourished and revitalized, not when you're utterly exhausted. Pay close attention to your energy levels. Ensure you're adequately hydrated. Take a moment to sit down, breathe deeply, and allow your body to be in a state of ease, not depletion. This seemingly simple shift in timing can profoundly protect your cardiovascular health, preserve your stamina, and make the experience itself more enjoyable and, most importantly, safer. Remember, the ultimate goal isn't just momentary satisfaction. It's longevity and vitality. Every small, conscious decision you make today has a direct impact on how strong, capable, and vibrantly alive you'll feel in the years to come. Now, if that insight gave you pause, wait until you hear the second critical mistake. Because this one has less to do with your physical state and everything to do with the way your mind engages with the act. Mistake 2, rushing without mental or emotional presence. Mistake number 2, rushing the act without cultivating mental or emotional presence. For many men over the age of 70, self-pleasure can gradually morph from a moment of personal connection into more of a perfunctory routine. It becomes something done quickly, often in silence, perhaps even hidden away as if it were something to be ashamed of. Years of societal conditioning, ingrained religious guilt, or the pervasive belief that older men shouldn't prioritize intimacy can construct a quiet wall of discomfort. Consequently, instead of embracing the act with mindful awareness, many men rush through it, treating it as a task that needs to be completed rather than an experience that deserves their full attention. This hurried approach creates more insidious harm than most men realize. When you rush the act, your nervous system doesn't have the opportunity to fully relax. Instead, it often remains in a state of subtle stress, inadvertently activating your body's primal fight or flight response. Your breathing may become shallow, your muscles tense involuntarily, and your mind becomes easily distracted, flitting from one thought to another. All of these physiological responses contribute to the narrowing of your vital blood vessels, restrict healthy circulation, and place unnecessary and often unnoticed strain on your heart and prostate gland. Alarmingly, your body can interpret this internal tension as a sign of danger, not pleasure. Even more concerning is the potential for emotional disconnection to build over time. What was once a source of comfort, personal connection, and healthy release can slowly transform into a purely mechanical act, devoid of genuine fulfillment. Men may begin to report feeling emotionally numb, strangely distant, or even inexplicably irritated in the aftermath. Furthermore, because the act is rushed, the quality of blood flow to the penis is often compromised, which over time can contribute to difficulties in maintaining firm erections, reduced sensitivity, and longer recovery periods. It's crucial to understand that this isn't solely a consequence of aging. It's often a direct result of the act lacking mindful care and intention. Some men, in an attempt to compensate for this diminished experience, may mistakenly try to push harder or increase physical stimulation, thinking they simply need more intensity to achieve the desired result. However, this approach only adds further stress to an already taxed body. What they truly need is to consciously slow down, cultivate deeper, more relaxed breathing, and be fully present in the sensory experience of the moment. When you allow yourself to experience pleasure with mindful awareness, your nervous system naturally begins to relax, blood vessels gently open, circulation improves, your body responds with greater ease, and your mind feels more grounded and less agitated. I've witnessed the profound difference this mindful approach can make firsthand. Older men who adopt a slower, more intentional engagement with self-pleasure often report significant improvements in erection quality, more restful sleep, a noticeable reduction in anxiety levels, and a renewed sense of emotional connection with themselves. It's not about striving for some idealized performance. It's simply about being fully present in your own experience. Your body, even in its seasoned wisdom, still possesses the remarkable capacity for pleasure, but it needs your gentle attention, not forceful pressure. So, if you find yourself habitually rushing through these private moments, I encourage you to gently ask yourself, why the hurry? Are you subconsciously trying to finish before someone notices? Are you carrying a lingering sense of shame? Are you, perhaps unintentionally, treating yourself as if you no longer deserve the full, sensual experience of intimacy simply because you've accumulated more years? You deserve better than that. Your body and your mind are still inherently worthy of your focused attention, your compassionate care, and your deep respect. Let me pose a direct question. When was the last time you consciously slowed down and truly allowed yourself to feel not just physically, but emotionally during these intimate moments? If it's been a while, perhaps now is the opportune time to rediscover the quiet, sensual space within yourself. And speaking of things we often overlook in our routines, the next critical mistake might genuinely surprise you. It's not about the speed of the act or any lingering sense of shame. It's about the location where you engage in self-pleasure and why that seemingly innocuous choice could be placing your safety at serious risk. Mistake 3. Engaging in dangerous positions. Mistake number 3. Engaging in self-pleasure and potentially dangerous physical positions. Most men, having established routines over decades, rarely give this a second thought. After all, you've likely done it the same way for years, perhaps standing in the shower, leaning precariously over the bathroom sink, or perched unsteadily at the edge of the bed. But here's a crucial truth that many older men overlook. The specific physical position you choose during self-pleasure can silently expose you to significant and very real risks at this stage of life. Your balance may not be as reliable as it once was, blood pressure fluctuations can be more pronounced, and your reaction time might be slightly delayed. Your muscles may have lost some of their youthful strength, your circulation may be less robust, and your body's ability to swiftly recover from a sudden movement or a drop in blood pressure is far more limited than it used to be. When you engage in self-pleasure while standing, particularly in inherently slippery environments like the bathroom shower, your body is placed in a vulnerable state. Blood flow dynamics shift, your knees might momentarily lock, your heart rate naturally increases, and if your blood pressure suddenly dips, as it often does in the post-orgasmic phase, you face a genuine and heightened risk of fainting or experiencing a serious fall. Tragically, I've witnessed this scenario play out far too many times. A man, feeling perfectly fine in the moment, finishes the act, turns to step away, and collapses without any prior warning. One case that remains particularly vivid in my memory is that of Mr. Alistair, a 76-year-old gentleman with no prior history of heart problems or any apparent warning signs, who tragically passed out in a shower and suffered a fractured hip. The seemingly innocuous combination of the steamy environment, the upright posture, and the post-orgasmic drop in blood pressure created a perfect and devastating storm. He was alone in his home and lay there for nearly an hour before help finally arrived. That single injury irrevocably altered his life. His mobility never fully returned, and it all began with a seemingly simple act performed in a risky position. It's crucial to understand that this isn't just about rare, catastrophic accidents. Even without dramatic falls, repeatedly engaging in self-pleasure in awkward or unsupported positions can place ongoing and cumulative strain on your lower back, your delicate pelvic floor muscles, and your leg muscles. Over time, this chronic strain can contribute to persistent discomfort, muscle tightness, and even nerve compression, potentially making future intimacy more painful or less effective. And yet, many men continue this pattern out of sheer habit, often without consciously realizing how their physical posture during these private moments is slowly working against their long-term physical well-being. Your body at this stage of life needs stability, safety, and reliable support. Choosing to engage in self-pleasure while comfortably seated in a relaxed position isn't just a minor luxury. It's a fundamental necessity for your safety and health. Having your feet firmly grounded, your back adequately supported, and your immediate environment secure significantly reduces physical strain, promotes healthy blood flow, and crucially protects you from the potential for sudden and debilitating injury. This one seemingly small adjustment in your routine can literally mean the difference between a peaceful and private moment and an unexpected trip to the emergency room. And let's not overlook the important emotional dimension. Creating a safe and intentionally comfortable environment for self-pleasure fosters a greater sense of peace and self-respect. You are no longer rushing or feeling the need to hide. Instead, you're actively taking care of yourself in a way that reflects dignity and prioritizes your safety, not placing yourself in unnecessary danger. This subtle but powerful shift in mindset toward mindful self-care can profoundly change how you feel, both physically and emotionally, during these intimate moments. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly considered your physical safety during these private moments? Are you consistently giving your body the essential support it needs, or are you simply continuing with ingrained habits and hoping that nothing goes wrong? Because the next critical mistake isn't physical at all. It's far deeper. It's about the potentially dangerous habit of ignoring the quiet but persistent signals your own body has been trying to send you for months, perhaps even years, and missing these subtle cues could cost you far more than you currently realize. Mistake 4. Ignoring changes in sensation or function. Mistake number 4. The potentially serious error of ignoring subtle but significant changes in sensation or sexual function. As men gracefully age, subtle shifts in how their bodies respond sexually often go unnoticed or, even more concerning, are actively dismissed. You might begin to notice a slight delay in achieving arousal, perhaps your erections aren't quite as firm as they once were, or maybe reaching orgasm now takes considerably longer than it used to. The intensity of sensation might feel somewhat diminished, or you might experience a sense of being less satisfied afterward. For many older men, these changes can feel like just another inevitable part of the aging process, something to quietly accept and simply move on from. But this particular mindset, the tendency to ignore or downplay these changes in sexual function, is one of the most significant mistakes you can make for your long-term health and well-being. These seemingly minor signs are rarely random occurrences, and they are certainly not just an unavoidable consequence of aging that you are simply destined to live with. More often than not, they serve as early and crucial warning signals from your body's subtle but important indications of underlying health issues such as compromised circulation, hormonal imbalances, nerve damage, or even the early stages of prostate dysfunction. And the longer you choose to ignore these quiet signals, the greater the risk that these underlying issues will silently worsen over time, potentially becoming more difficult, or even impossible, to effectively address. Throughout my decades of practice, I've worked with hundreds of older men who only sought professional help after these seemingly minor issues had progressed significantly. What initially presented as a slight decrease in sexual sensation eventually led to full-blown erectile dysfunction. What began as a little urinary hesitancy gradually escalated into disruptive nighttime awakenings, chronic pelvic pain, or even a diagnosis of benign prostatic hyperplasia (BPH) or, in rarer but more serious cases, prostate cancer. And when I gently inquired about when these symptoms first began to appear, the answer was almost always the same: "Oh, it was a while ago, but I just thought it was part of getting older." This common assumption is inherently dangerous. While the aging process does indeed bring about natural changes in the body, it's vital to remember that your body invariably communicates before it completely breaks down. It often whispers with smaller, more easily dismissed signs long before it screams with major, life-altering consequences. A noticeable decrease in sexual sensitivity, increasing difficulty in maintaining arousal, or subtle changes in ejaculation patterns are not merely inconvenient physical nuisances. They are important messages that your intricate vascular system, your complex nervous system, and your delicate endocrine system are all involved in sexual function. When something feels off, it's often a significant red flag that something else within your overall health might be amiss. What makes this particular mistake even more damaging is the understandable shame or embarrassment that many men feel when they begin to notice these intimate changes. Instead of proactively seeking professional help or even simply asking honest questions, they often choose to hide it, pretend it's not happening, or emotionally withdraw. In doing so, they not only delay potentially effective medical treatment but also begin to erode their own self-confidence, diminish intimacy in their relationships, and lose a vital sense of connection with their own bodies. The good news is that this potentially harmful pattern can be turned around. When you consciously choose to pay close attention to your body's subtle signals, when you actively decide to stop brushing things off as just aging, you empower yourself to take early and often highly effective action. Whether it involves a visit to a knowledgeable doctor who specializes in men's health, undergoing some basic but informative blood work, or making small but impactful changes in your diet, exercise routine, or daily habits, you often have far more control over your health and well-being than you might currently believe. Many underlying conditions, when identified and addressed in their early stages, are indeed manageable or even reversible. But this positive outcome is only possible if you are willing to listen attentively to what your body is trying to tell you. Your remarkable body has faithfully carried you for 70, 75, perhaps even 80 or more years. It deserves your focused attention, not just when something acutely breaks down, but from the very first subtle whisper of change. Please, do not ignore what your body is trying to communicate, because often, those quiet signals are your only early warning system. And now that you are aware of the four most common and potentially damaging mistakes that men over the age of 70 often make in their private moments, it's time to address the bigger, more empowering question: how do you turn this around? How do you actively protect your vital circulation, reclaim your sense of confidence, and make the absolute most of the vibrant years that lie ahead? Let's bring all of these crucial insights together. Conclusion: a wake-up call worth heeding by now. You've absorbed some vital truths for seemingly small missteps that can, unfortunately, carry significant consequences for men over the age of 70. Engaging in self-pleasure when your body is already physically depleted or significantly dehydrated might feel like a harmless way to unwind, but it places unnecessary and potentially dangerous strain on your precious heart and overall circulation, especially when your system is already under considerable stress. Rushing through this intimate act without cultivating a sense of presence or inner peace inadvertently robs your nervous system of the calming and restorative benefits it needs, slowly transforming something that should ideally bring comfort and release into an experience fraught with tension, frustration, or even subtle physical damage. Choosing to perform this private act in physically unsafe positions, whether standing in a slippery shower, leaning awkwardly over a counter, or without adequate body support, might seem like a matter of convenience in the moment, but it carries the very real risk of life-altering injuries that could significantly diminish your independence and overall quality of life. And perhaps most critically, the often overlooked habit of ignoring subtle but persistent changes in your sexual sensation, your overall function, or even your emotional response may be your body's only early warning sign that something deeper, something that requires your attention and perhaps professional evaluation, is potentially wrong. These insights are not intended as scare tactics. They are grounded in the realities I've observed over decades of dedicated work with men just like you. I've seen firsthand how quickly things can change, often for the worse, when these seemingly minor signs are consistently ignored. But I've also had the profound privilege of witnessing the positive transformations that occur when a man makes the conscious decision to truly listen to his body's wisdom, when he actively chooses safety over ingrained habit, cultivates presence over a sense of shame or hurriedness, and embraces mindful awareness over a state of denial. When these shifts occur, a man doesn't just passively maintain his health. He actively reclaims his inherent confidence, deepens his connection to himself, and reignites his ability to feel vibrantly alive and grounded, even in the most private of moments. You absolutely deserve this sense of well-being and vitality. Growing older doesn't necessitate relinquishing the things that bring meaning and joy to your life. Rather, it often means learning how to approach them with a different perspective, with more deliberate care, with greater mindful attention, and with a deeper understanding of what your unique body truly needs in this new and valuable stage of your life. Please remember this fundamental truth: you are not broken. You are certainly not past your prime. You are a man in a new and significant stage of life, and this stage deserves just as much respect, thoughtful consideration, and proactive care as any other. So, the empowering question now is, what will you choose to do with this vital information? Will you simply carry on with the same established habits, perhaps hoping that things will somehow work themselves out? Or will you take even a small, but significant, step towards something better, something more mindful, more intentional, more deeply aligned with the wise and experienced man you are today? The choice, ultimately, is yours, and I believe that your body, in its enduring wisdom, is ready if you are. These lessons are offered with the sincere hope of inspiring you to live your life fully and authentically, embracing each day with vitality and confidence. Now, I would genuinely love to hear from you. Take a quiet moment to reflect on what we've discussed and share one key insight you've gained and one practical step you plan to apply in your own life moving forward. Let's create a supportive community where we can encourage each other on this important journey toward embracing these truths. If you found this video to be valuable and insightful, please take a moment to leave a comment with a 1. If, for any reason, it didn't resonate with you, please feel free to comment with a 0. Your honest feedback means a great deal to us and helps us tailor future content to best serve your needs. And of course, if you haven't already, please consider liking this video, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing to our YouTube channel for more empowering content designed specifically for men in their prime and beyond. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me today. Here's to living a long, healthy, and fulfilling life, on your own terms. Valuable lesson for the audience: embrace mindful self-awareness in all aspects of your life, especially intimate moments. Pay attention to your body's subtle signals, prioritize safety and comfort, and approach self-care with intention and respect. Aging is a natural process, but proactive and informed choices can significantly enhance your well-being and longevity. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful did you find this video? Let us know.